That
No, I mean that's not a programming issue. I'm sure. I mean, I know it's not. I mean, unless they requested it as a feature of the program that hey, per you know, add a 5% offset. But no, I don't think that's a programming issue. At least not. I mean, you have bugs in programs, but I mean that's not something that goes on for like 30 years. You know.
Greg, I got to jump off the call here in a second, but I've got interesting response to that. So I had to get my license back, and part of the process was also getting my tags updated. So recently I went and got the tags. And now the tags agency is a privately owned company contracted with the state.
yeah.
And also the tax collector is taking those fees in as well for license renewal. And I think they're kind of a private entity too, even though they say tax collector, but I think it is sort of a private business. But when you go in those agencies now and get service from them, it is like night and day. I mean, it's a big difference when you have a company, whose job it is basically to serve the customer and get people in and out faster with no stress, versus back in the day when it was just the government running it. It would take you all day to get your license. So the point is, I think it's just the fact that the court system is the government. They're slow, they make mistakes, and they don't have to. I mean, they don't have any customer service. They don't worry about it. And the worst thing that's going to happen to them is somebody files an appeal, and then 6 months, a year down the road, they send the judgment back to the circuit court judge and say, "Look, you made a mistake. Correct your error." So they have no incentive to do better, and they don't care.
By the way, it's funny that the errors they usually have is it's towards overpayment or a higher payment. It's never an error in underpayment.
Follow the money.
Geez, the views and opinions expressed do not necessarily represent those of Greg Doss, DJ Squid, Chagret Doss, or GD9 Attorney Pro Se Consultants.
I got to jump on. I got to grab another call.
All right, no problem. Send that other case law to me, email you a chance.
All right, we'll talk later.
All right, peace. So here we are. I actually put in a couple of them, and as you can see, that Kygo versus Kygo versus versus Kygo, where it says, it cited the Ferguson case in the Third Circuit, a marital settlement agreement entered into by the parties and ratified by final judgment is a contract subject to the laws of a contract. Most of us guys were not married. We're not married, but just in case some background for everybody. So with that being said, I think we're pretty much good. Just go look at the difference between executive or what an executive order is and what it is not. By the way, governors can also issue executive orders. And so can mayors and what have you. Just its ability, its enforcement power is rooted in law. Case law is how the courts made an interpretation of a particular issue. Sometimes it involves statute or law. Sometimes it doesn't. Understand that common law is court-created law, meaning there was no statutory direction in most instances, and that's how they come up with the common law. And I think that's about it. And also public policy. Public policy would be in areas kind of like the your administrative law. Governed by public policy, and even though the Chevron decision said that the courts get the ability to make the decision, essentially when there's no clear direction by statute, because if the statute gives direction, the courts are supposed to follow the statute, the bright line law of the statute. So with that being said, hey, appreciate the folks hopping in. Hopefully we were able to be of some benefit in clearing up more than a couple of things. Daly, you have anything you want to add for the people?
Yeah, I just want to add because I kept hearing a few people talking about they didn't sign a contract or whatever. But just so you know, I mean, like in Brett's case where he was married and they did have a contract as in how they would address support. The state has a right, to support a citizen, So if someone does go and get benefits, it's more of a thing of now addressing the issue of what merits you paying that to her,
What were the merits of the other case? Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Not a case of, well, I didn't sign it, my name's not on the application. It's like, it doesn't matter how you got there,
You're
you know,
there.
you're there. And addressing your issue is will better serve you. And contract law does not apply at
Yeah, I
that
think
point.